Can y'all hear me online? Somebody put it in the chat if you can hear the audio, please. All right, thank you, Samuel Gilbert. If Samuel Gilbert can hear, everybody else should be able to hear. If not, they missed our technology session where we would have told them how they could hear us. Once again, it's a pleasure to be in front of you all today, you great rattlers. We got a great show today. You know, it's amazing. Sometimes it's really tough to book somebody for the middle of the week at lunchtime. All of the coaches have games. Or the basketball coaches, the women's coaches down at the Women's Final Four, where they often gather in Tampa, as well as our coach, our men's basketball coach, is out recruiting. You notice I said our men's basketball coach because some people made a big deal online that he had not signed his contract. But I'm here to tell you today to put that to rest because as soon as he got back from the SWAC tournament, he signed his contract. So Coach Crary is our coach. He is retained. He is excited to continue the greatness that we started with. Also, just as I've said before, we're in an era where we can't get alarmed when kids get in the portal. They're doing it everywhere on every level. So that's not a bad look on FAMU or anything that happened at FAMU. That's just the nature of college athletics as it is right now with the almost unlimited transfer portal and with the era of NIL. So we want to thank Coach Crary for what he did this year and looking forward to what he will continue to build in the Lawson Center for the Orange and Green. We'd also like to peddle it. We have a few copies left of this year's FAMU Sports Hall of Fame souvenir guide. They're $20. They're really nice. It has the class, all the information about this year's class. Here's Coach Gillespie from this year's event. It has actual photos from this year's event. We do the journal afterwards so that we can make sure we capture the event. So I got a few of these if you need to see me. Dr. Jackson, can I please get you to come up? No, I get in trouble when I do this, but it's not my fault this time, you all can see. While I'm doing that, Harold, would you like to come up while she's on her way?
Thank you very much, Vaughn. To the CEO, Dr. Jackson, and to our President, Vaughn, we'd like to, on behalf of my wife, who's been in the hospital since March 11th, I'd like to thank the 220 Quarterback Club family for for the flowers, number one, and also for all your prayers and all you reaching out and asking about her. She's on the mends and she's ready. We're getting ready for discharge to inpatient rehab. But thank you all for all your prayers. I talked to her this morning and I told her I was on my way up there, but she said, no, go to your 220 Strike Club because I know how important that is to you, but I support them through you. So she told me to come through there, and before the president and Dr. Walker correct me, she knows the correct name of this organization. She just like to razz me and say, go to your 220 Strike Club. So, but on her behalf and on my behalf, I'd like to thank all of you for all your well wishes, your prayers, especially your prayers, and also for the flowers. They were just beautiful. Thank you so much.
All right, and we'd like to thank our wonderful team of ladies who are thoughtful. You didn't want us men arranging no flowers and nothing like that. So our wonderful group of ladies that lead the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club. And one of our people that watches online every week, her name's Laura Wilson. She works for Childers Construction Company. And She told me she had something to give to Dr. Jackson. She just loves Dr. Jackson. She knows Dr. Jackson loves orange and green, and she had something made for Dr. Jackson that is one of one. So, Dr. Jackson. Before y'all ask me, no, they're not for sale. It was a friend of hers who does this for art, and she convinced a friend to do this one for Dr. Jackson. So Laurel, thank you very much. And Childers, the camera right there waving. She watches from work on her lunch break. So thank you, Laurel. It is wonderful.
Thank you so much, Laura. This is just dynamic. I really appreciate that. But thank you so much for being so thoughtful.
And make sure to keep it away from Leroy so you can get it home. No, that's just something they put on there, but it's a very beautiful piece. I knew not to even take it in my house. I kept it in the car because my wife saw it. I'd have a battle to get it here. So, Laurel, it got delivered. All right. Next up, we'd like to bring up the Executive Director of the Rattler Boosters, Mr. Selvin Cobb, to give us an update on what the Rattlers have been doing.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I forget, we want to make sure that we have these signs here where you can scan, get your all the information about Rattler Boosters. And if you haven't done so, you would want to make sure that you're financial by the end of May of this year, because you will be eligible to vote in our June election. So if you haven't done so, just make sure that you're financial so you can vote in June. Beginning with softball, we had a very good week in softball. You know, they used to have a thing when you played 3 games, 4 games, you win all 3 of them just before the last game. They'll bring the broom out. So we're looking for the broom. So we can start out with bring out the brooms, because we played Mississippi Valley State. They were 3 games behind in the loss column. And when they left, they were 6 games behind because we swept all 3 games. We began with the weekend at Veronica Wiggins Field, of course. And we began on Friday. We won 13-2. On Saturday, we actually on the 13-2, we only went 5 innings. We had a 2-run homer and a 3-run homer for the 7 runs. Then we came back on Saturday where we scored, what was the score? 12-0. And then we came back on the second game on Saturday. We won 7-0. So when you play 3 games, you don't give up but 2 runs, you stand a good chance of winning. So that's what happened on softball. Now next game is going to be a little tougher. We're going to be on the road, and we're going to play Jackson State. We're going to play Jackson State starting at 5 o'clock on Friday. Then we'll play the doubleheader on Saturday. So that's always a tough game for us. So we'll play them again this coming weekend. going over to baseball. Now, if you're a baseball fan, you know about what's been going on happened with the New York Yankees. You know, they got this new bat that they're a torpedo bat that they call. Well, I got news for you. We got a torpedo bat at Boys Kittle Field. We are really hitting that ball out the park. Again, we can bring out the brooms because we played Prairie Review. Prairie Review came in here and we had Mr. Caleb Granger. He was the first pitcher on Friday. And we won 10-0 on Friday. Caleb he pitched, he gave up 2 hits in this 5.1 innings. And we had 2 other pitchers that came up and shut the doors. And those 2 pitchers, one of them struck out, but pitcher only pitched 2 innings. He struck out. He pitched 6 players. 6 players came to bat. He struck out 3 of them. The next pitcher came up. He only had 1 inning. He struck out 2 of them. So we got some good players here in the bullpen on that first game. On the home runs was by Josiah Figueroa, Justin Cruz, and Matt Perez. Matt Perez hit 2 on that second game. On Sunday, we came back and we won 7-2. That was being pitched by Carson Ely. You know, he's 3-0. By the way, Mr. Carson, Caleb Granger, that pitched the first game, he's 3-0. Our second pitcher, Carson Kelly, he's 3-1. So we got 2 good pitchers, and our starter and our second pitcher, we got 2 good ones. So we want to continue to keep them and keep them healthy, so they can come out and continue to play and make good performances for us. On tonight's game, it's going to be on ESPN Plus. And we are playing Troy. That game is at 5 o'clock. So tonight's game, ESPN at 5.
I talked to Coach Shuki last evening, and that game has been moved to 1 p.m. They changed it to the middle school game. So they're inviting all the middle schools out. So if you're watching the game, you'll probably hear a lot of little kids out at the game. But they changed the Troy game, and Coach Shoup agreed to it. But they changed that game to 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus, I think it is, or whichever it is. And it's the middle school game. So all the middle school kids from Troy will be there. I imagine it'd be pretty loud there.
Well, hopefully, 1 o'clock there would be 2 o'clock our time. So we still should be able to catch most of the game. And it was so strange because last week, we played Troy here and we jumped out to a 7-0 lead. I said, oh man, we got this one. But we ended up losing 8-7. So after Troy, I come back for this weekend game because we're going to be playing Jackson State. Again, our women are going to be playing Jackson softball. We're going to be playing them at Mississippi. But we're going to host the baseball team here at Morris Kittle Field. So that game starts at 5 o'clock. So we want to make sure that we get there in time for that. Golf, the golf team is up in Nashville, Tennessee for the Big Blue Classic. They're playing at Tennessee State. Our tennis team last week I told you about I call it the SWAC, players, I think they call it Players 2 tennis tournament that we had in Montgomery, Alabama. Well, we started out on Friday, where we started out with Alabama A&M on Friday. We defeated Alabama A&M 4-2. On Saturday, we had a tough one where we played Jackson State again. That's Jackson State, and we lost that one 4-3. So, but we came back, and we ended up playing Prairie View, and we beat Prairie View 4-0. Our next opponent is going to be at the Gibson Tennis Complex, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock on Saturday, 10 o'clock Saturday morning. So if you're not doing anything, you want to go out and catch the tennis team, and then after the tennis match, you can go have lunch and come back over and catch the baseball team. Men and women track, as I said last week, we participated in the tournament over at Florida State. Don't have any results for that yet, but gonna have a good weekend. We're looking for some more sweeps. It's always good to have them. So, any other questions that you may have? Okay, all right. Well, Bill, you weren't here when I started, but you came in, so I won't repeat myself. I just said, announcement has been made. Okay.
He got it, Bill. He leading with that now. All right. We have two special guests from the university that are going to come up with some great information for us. Okay. And so I like to ask, let me just say this. Carmen was going to be here, but when she couldn't, she drafted two people to come fill in her place. As we all know, Carmen has been elevated to chief of staff. So Dr. Beard had to be out of town. And since it's law enforcement on campus today, I think it's law enforcement that are on campus today as part of some festivity. So Carmen, the chief of staff, had to fill in for the president today. So she sent two ladies to fill in for her. I don't know how to feel about that she needed to send two. But if you all will come up, and they have some great information for you. And while they're coming up, I'd like to announce our newest Grand Rattler. Nehemiah Chambers has been paying on time, and he is done. Thank you, Mr. Chambers.
Good afternoon. Y'all got more energy than that. Good afternoon. Come on now, lead on. Absolutely. Well, my name is Isis Dukes. I serve as the Government Relations Chair for the FAMU National Alumni Association. And I'm sure many of you remember me from last year, because it is that time of the year again for FAMU Day at the Capitol. On your tables, you will see this flyer. This is telling you about the exciting day that we will be having on April 9th. That's next Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the Capitol Courtyard. This day is the day of advocacy for us. As the state is increasing performance requirements from the state, that means that we need more funding. And if these requirements are going to increase, they're going to ask more of us. Our ask from them is simply to put more skin in the game. So we need more money. And as alumni, it is important that we show up on that day to have our voices heard. It is important that on that day that we represent who we are, not just the #1 public HBCU, but we are a powerhouse that produces powerful, influential alumni. And so my ask is very simple. Go to this website, famunaa.org. On the front page, you should see the link, but on the flyer, you will see it in more detail. Go to famunaa.org/event/FDATC, that stands for Family Day at the Capitol, 2025. Register here. This is a free event. Remember last year? It cost $30. This year, it is free. So all we want you to do is just show up. We will be having buses that will be commuting from the faculty clubhouse to the Capitol. That means you don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to circle around looking for a space. We will provide that transportation for you at absolutely no cost. All you have to do is to make sure that you are at the faculty clubhouse at 8 a.m. on that day. We're going to have an orientation. Going to put something on your stomach before you leave. And then the bus will be leaving promptly at 8:30. That will be the first round. The bus is going to be circulating throughout the day back and forth to the faculty clubhouse. So there will be several opportunities for you to have transportation to go back to your vehicles if that's where you parked. So again, go here, register. I'm asking you to register simply because I want to be able to give you something to eat on that day, because we will have food afterwards. So register. Make sure that you are accounted for, and make sure that your voice is heard. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Regina Gardner from University Advancement. Ms. Isis also too failed to tell you guys that we're going to have band and cheer there as well. So with that being said, I'm here to talk about 1887 strikes. With 1887 strikes, which is going to start on tomorrow and end on Friday, which is the 3rd and the 4th. We're asking you to help us, help our students. We appreciate all that you have done for our athletics, and we're asking again because our students need this more than ever. So if you can come out, or if you want to go online, you can do that at 1887.com. Or if you have a check that you want to give to me, I can take that today. I'll wait around here. And also too, on the 3rd, I'll be at a mandatory meeting at the Lawson. So if you want to go ahead and call me, because most of you have my number, you can call me and I'll leave that meeting to come meet you. So also too, and so there will be someone at the office. So we are asking you to help us, help our students. Thank you.
Let me add in there to Regina's point. We are going to have some amazing speakers, and two of them will be AD Suggs and Coach Cozy. So we want to make sure that we're there to give them that support, to make sure that they feel the value that each and one of you add on their day. So go register, famunaa.org.
Thank you. Did both of us together make up for Carmen?
Absolutely. Y'all did better than Carmen. I will get a text from her pretty shortly. Thank you, Isis and Regina. Once again, you all know how I feel about supporting our university. Without the FAMU, there's no FAMU athletics. So we got to make sure we continue to do that. So before we bring up our speaker for the day, a very special speaker for the day, I got to use some personal privilege. Hold on a second. Okay, now, our speaker for today is a rattler from generations before he got here. He's considered one of the greatest linemen to ever play for Florida A&M University. coming from the south side at Rickards High School. I'm not gonna steal his thunder, and he tells the story better than anybody about how he got to FAMU. It's a very good story. But obviously he made the best when he was here. Multiple All-American, went to the NFL and just had a great career. I'm sure he's not gonna say this because he's a modest guy, but he was the first lineman. The first lineman, think about this, the first lineman to ever get a franchise tag put on him. Let that sink in. A lineman got a franchise tag put on him. That's the greatness. He's up on the wall, Gallimore Powell Fieldhouse. And before he speaks, my son is a big Baltimore Ravens fan, big Baltimore Ravens fan. So you know he loves Lamar Jackson. So I took him to M&T Bank Field to see the Ravens play so he could see Lamar Jackson. So I got him a Lamar Jackson jersey. But when I went, I was wearing Wally's jersey. I bought it online from the official NFL store. It's not bootleg. And so since he's here, I'm going to retire from wearing this jersey, and Wally's going to sign it, and I'm going to put it in a shadow box so I can put it up in the house. So that's the first thing you got to do when you come up here, Wally.
See, this kind of stuff from your homeboy right here. My man.
All right, so when y'all see it in the house, it's authentic. Ladies and gentlemen, Wally Williams.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure coming home. So many faces, that I see. My dad boys back there, the fence club crew. Okay, all that going on back there. This is a small world, but a great place to grow up. Me growing up here and having so much influence, not outside of my family, even though we all were and all are FAMU people. I have, just on my mother's side of the family, we have 13 degrees just from FAMU, just on my mother's side of the family. My dad, my dad had 3 sisters. All 3 of those sisters have degrees. So the entire family, and I don't want to get into the cousins, okay? I don't want to get into other relatives I have bouncing around here, teachers, friends. So I grew up over in J.K. DePaul. Y'all know what that is, right? All right. Right around the corner from Dr. Foster house. Right around the corner from Al Lawson house, okay? These guys were my neighbors. And I was able to be in the community enough to kind of realize that I can do some things out in this community and fulfill some of my dreams. So the first person that I met personally that influenced that dream was Robert Paramore. China dog. Exactly. My dad was a general contractor and area builder. So I met people doing different things as a kid. Okay, you may have known my father, but I was just standing there kind of a quiet little son, just kind of moving around, learning, shaking hands. So when I met Mr. Paramore, China Dog played running back in the NFL, all those things like that. So he looked at me, and I couldn't have been no more than about 7, 8 years old. And he said, well, if this is what you want to do, son, you can do it right here. And you get that. You don't know where it's going, Mr. Carr. You don't know where it's going. Just, gentleman just talking to me and giving me some kind of reassurance because he knew I loved playing the game even at that young age. And going through the process and going to NIMS, okay, playing over there I was actually too heavy to play recreational football at the right age. By the time I turned 11, I had outgrown recreational football. And I had to move up and play at the high school level. So at 12 years old, I was at NIMS, walking from NIMS to Rickards to play there, played freshman and JV football when I was in middle school. Now, here's the crazy thing about that. It's not that I had to walk, okay? My dad passed by me every day. Okay? He was a building inspector at that time, and he would drive right by me on Orange Avenue, walking to practice. He ain't stopping to give me a ride. Let me tell you the one time he did stop. The one time he did stop, because he had this thing going on with me where he's like, hey, you being an athlete, don't drink sodas. I don't ever want to see you drinking a soda. All right, so y'all got to remember back, it was a Swanee Swifties. Okay, that was down. All right, no Swanee Swifties sodas like two for $1. All right, and when I walked from NIMS and walked past, that McDonald's right there, which we actually built that McDonald's. We built that McDonald's right there on Orange Avenue. I had to work there too. So walk past that, get to the Swanee Swifties right there on the next corner. I'm gonna get me a little soda right there to kind of ease my walk into Rivers. The one time I did that, okay, he pulled over, stopped right in front of me. Hey boy, what I told you about drinking them sodas? Got my sodas and poured them out, got back in his car and left. Needed to give me a ride there. Kept it moving. So what he was doing was just seeing my resolve, testing my resolve, see if I really wanted to do it. It wasn't like I couldn't get there or he'd give me a ride and stuff. That was the easy part. But if you want to get out here and play, that was a test in the household before I even got to the coaches. Okay, the old man is testing me out and making sure that I want to do this and I want to go through the process. So in going through the process, like I said, I grew up at FAMU, going to the games and stuff like that, and been in the end zone and probably back there tackling Vaughn at some point. At some point back then he was a little older, but I was still trying to get everybody out there too. Okay, so it goes through high school. I'm pretty good in high school. Well, now it's time to pick a university. Where do I want to go to school? What I want to do? Mr. Carr, wait. You think I want to go to FAMU? See, you know what I'm saying? So when you at home and you grew up around doing this, my Dr. Elliott, I know Jenny Ethel Elliott, who ran Howard Hall, all those things like that. That's my aunt. Okay, I was up here in Howard Hall in the youth sports programs every year, every summer. So this was like an extension of my house. And I wanted to get up out of here a little bit. I ain't gonna say go too far, but I wanted to be in a different kind of set. So my initial choice to go to college was over across the street. I ain't gonna say the name since, this is a Rattler function, but y'all know who it is. Okay, and that was my choice. But those Rattlers always sneak back up, don't they, Vaughn? They sneak back up and get you, man. They sneak back up and get you. So it didn't work out over there on the other side of the street. And I was hot about it. Matter of fact, one can say I'm still hot about it right now. Okay, but it didn't work out over there. But we get a call from over there from John Eason. Okay, and he just happened to be Coach Riley's roommate when they played here at FAMU. And Coach Eason called Coach Riley, and Coach Riley came to my house and he said it just like this: we didn't recruit you because we didn't think we had a chance in hell to get you. And he said it just like that. He brought Coach John D. Harris to the house. Y'all know Coach Harris, old Lincoln, and he coached my father in high school as well. So again, family, everybody's deep rooted here. And these guys came to the house and gave me the recruiting assault. Okay? You can play football, you can play baseball, you can play tennis, you can play, I don't care what, as long as you come out there on that football, you do anything you want at FAMU. And I said, Coach, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not coming. I don't want to go to FAMU. It's not an accomplishment. Okay, I grew up here. I was born in the hospital. I think the last class, 71, that birth class, 70s, right up in there. Yeah, 71. I'm in that last birth class at FAMU Hospital. Okay, I ain't never left this place. Okay? Never left this place, and I wanted to go somewhere else. So my dad looked at Coach Riley, and I know who Coach Riley was. I knew his career and his NFL stuff and everything. I knew exactly who he was. And my dad took me outside. So let me talk to him for a second. Gave me that old talk. Now, I say everybody back there that know my dad, know he can influence some things. And he has a point of logic that is very, very black and white. He had a point of logic that's very black and white. So we went outside talking. He's like, "You think you big shot," stuff like that. I was like, "Well, that's what the stats say." I don't know about what I do, but the stats say that I'm pretty good. So I don't write the newspaper articles about Bill McGrother. Okay, I don't have Scott Atwell coming to my crib getting interviews and stuff like that. I'm not calling these people. They just kind of show up at the house. Or they show up at my school and they say I'm a pretty good damn athlete. If you don't want to give me credit for it, that's fine. But you ain't paying my bills like these cats are right now. I pay my own kind of stuff. I was talking trash like that. Okay, so my dad said, "Well, since you're such a smart ass, okay, tell me this. How many years did Bobby Bowden play in the NFL?" I said, "0. The guy that's in your living room right now that wants you to play football for him, how many years did he play?" I said, 16 years. He said, "Well, don't you think you need to learn from him?" Mr. Carl, I still ain't got an answer for that. Okay, I still don't have an answer for that. And that's how I ended up at FAMU. I could not answer that question. I thought it was very logical, and I thought he was right, because I spent my next 4 years trying to put a picture on the wall that Coach Riley had blank. And see, Vaughn remember this picture. When you come in that locker room during Coach Riley days, he had all the guys on the wall that were in the NFL at that particular time who had played. And there was one blank picture there. And it said, "Who's next?" And without a question, oh, that was going to be me. Without a question. And it just came to reality when guys like William Evers got drafted, and Amir Rasul and Terry Buford and all these guys. It started to become a real objective of something I can accomplish. And this is just from being on the South Side, playing with Jake at the park, okay, trying to compete with guys older than me. It never really stopped. And really the heroes that were procured in this neighborhood that I followed, it was the Sammy Knights. It was the Nate Newtons. It was the Albert Chesters, the Rudy Hubbards, okay, guys who coached me like Ira Reynolds. I mean, these guys were heroes to me. It wasn't the pros. Okay, it wasn't anything else but the guys that played football at FAMU that I wanted to emulate. Coach Rudy Hubbard, at my time, I thought Coach Rudy Hubbard was the best thing since butter. Young, coach, winning. What was that song that kept playing? It kept with "Ain't No Stopping Us Now." Wasn't that a FAMU video back during that time? That thing, if it was now, it would have gone viral. Okay, because that thing was very popular in the 70s and during my beginnings of understanding the concept of football and definitely the concept of what athletics are and really FAMU. And understanding that, this has been here for me my entire life. So we fast forward now. Fast forward into now. I'm still that same kid. I'm still that same kid that bounced right around here on the South Side. Okay. Yeah, I got my little NFL logo now. Some things have changed. But I have the same passion about this community. I have the same passion about the men who have gone through this university, who have paved the way for me. Because without the Coach Rileys, without the Henry Killer Lawrences, without the Nate Newtons, without the Tyrone McGriff, Coach Tyrone McGriff recruited me in high school at Tennessee State, and I absolutely told him no. That wasn't even a thought, go over there and do anything with those guys, okay, at all. So, but the respect that I've always garnered for those men still resonates today, which is part of the reason why for the last couple of years, when I've been involved with the alumni chapter and the football alumni chapter, because I believe in teamwork. I believe we're stronger as a team, and we're stronger when we bring all of our alumni to the table not for anything else but to have that kind of presence for our young men playing today who don't necessarily understand the culture and how things are cultivated and how deep it is, how deep your opportunities are if you reach out to young men who have gone through this program and have had success. We've had a ton. We've had a ton. And I just want to put this out there because me and Vaughn talked about this the other day, and I just want to say this because this happened, okay? I am not a fan of people ingratiating themselves and have not been through the blood, sweat, and tears. We don't sell our culture. Okay, we don't sell our colors. You either join us or you donate to us, but we're not selling it to you. And I thought we did a lot of that last year by bringing in, I go ahead and throw their names out, Chad Johnson, and bringing in Adrian James, and people who don't know about orange and green and blood, sweat, and tears. There are people here that have put on these colors and been out there with Gaither, Riley, Coach Joe, name them all, name them, and have been out there in that pit that deserve to be at least given the respect of their time here. And I am for that all day. And if I can, I will bring guys to you. See my man back there in the back right there? I'm putting him on the spot. All right, that's Wyatt Crosby right there. All right, I coached Wyatt, trained him for the last, 4 years? And I'm trying to get him up here to FAMU to play some football as an offensive lineman. Now, rest assured, if I'm training him.
Stand up for him, Wyatt. I saw him when he came in. Stand up. We can use Wyatt on that line.
All right. Now, if I'm out here talking about Wyatt like this, and I've been training him, all right, Trent, rest assured, he can play. I don't bring kids around or train guys, and he knows this. I will tell you that you suck in a second. Okay, he knows this. So Wyatt is a kid that he wants to play football real bad. He wants to wear orange and green, and I'm gonna do my best to get him up there. And you know, this will be my plight. This will always be my plight. I am for this university becoming a prominent university and being able to compete on a national scale. On a national scale. I think we have the proper people in place now. Don't act like y'all don't know now. Don't get quiet on me, all right? Just because I don't come to these meetings don't mean I don't know exactly what's going on around here. All right, some of y'all I know personally. Okay, so now we're getting the right people in place. Okay, we're getting the real rallies in place who grew up here, who know about what it is to not only be up here on the university, but know what it is to be around this city. Know what it is to be cultivated in the business and generating those responsibilities, those alliances to build this program and build our university where it needs to be. Now, on our shield, it says excellence on that shield. Excellence. Well, that's the expectation. And I challenge everybody here to be that expectation of excellence and look around and say, are we doing the best job that we can possibly do? That will always be my challenge. That will always be my creed. And I am of orange and green. Make no mistake about it, even though I coach at Florida High. Okay. All right, but I'm always having my colors on up under that maroon and gold over that I wear over there. So thank you for allowing me. And hey, I don't come.
Wait a minute. Before I even
do it. Okay.
You are not getting out of here without giving us a Bill Belichick story.
Oh. Bill Belichick. Anybody know who Bill Belichick is? Okay. So when I came out of Cleveland, when I came out of FAMU, believe it or not, that's who came down here and worked me out. Now, he wasn't Belichick that y'all know right now today, okay? But he was Belichick, the Giants, Super Bowl rings. He did have that going. So he came and worked me out, all those things, and got me to Cleveland. When I walked in the door, The first thing he said to me, he was like, hey, you know, this is not freaking FAMU, where the hell you came from. Okay, this is the real NFL. And if you don't get this stuff straight, I will ship your behind back to Tallahassee as quick as you got here. So that was like the hello right there. Okay, so I went through a month of training and stuff like that. And after that month, he says, hey, I had a name by then that I want to repeat. But I had developed a name. Don't ask me why. But it started with an A and it ended with a hole. Okay. And he's just like, go to the office, go upstairs and talk to Mike Lombardi. So if you guys watch any other, it's funny because these guys are still on, like, moving around doing crazy stuff. If you watch, you know, McAfee's show and you see Mike Lombardi, the general manager guy that comes on there, well, all these guys were in Cleveland when I was there, and all these guys signed me to my contract. So I go upstairs and I talk to Lombardi, and Lombardi says, he gives me the, hey buddy, great to see you, man. Oh, you're doing great. You're doing a great job. Now, I've been getting cussed out for the last month. Okay, but he gives me a great job. Everything's going well. I'm thinking I'm getting cut. He said, okay. He said, how about this, buddy? So we're going to guarantee your year this year and keep you on the team for the entire football season. You made the team. I've been there a month. We haven't even started training camp. Okay. You made the team. We're going to keep you. We're going to develop you. You're going to be okay. I said, okay. All right. That sounds good. I can tell mom and dad I'll be here for the year. I ain't coming home this year. All right. I'll be here for a while. He said, all right, but go downstairs and talk to your buddy again. So we're going to talk to Belichick again. Belichick sees me. It's like, hey, so you're not going to be our starting center here this year. You're not playing offensive line, not playing center. Find somewhere else to play. Here's the offensive playbook, the defensive playbook, and special teams playbook. Get to work, go. And that was it. I need to make a decision what I had to do, and I wasn't going to play offensive line, but I was on the team. I was on the team. So, you know, look, these things come at you fast and hot, and it's always been, you know, my ideology to be able to share this with young men who aspire to have a professional job as an athlete. Because what you do here at FAMU, see what you do at Florida State, all that stuff is nice. We pat you in the back like, oh, you're great. You're great. But when you see me in the pros, I'm gonna look at you and say, man, you suck, and I'm gonna take your damn money. And I don't care if you're a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't care if you're a first round pick. It does not matter. Okay, all that matters is I'm paying my bills and you not getting in the way of me doing that. And if I got to run over you to do it, well, you guys are corporate guys, made a lot of money in your career. Do they care about your salaries, your competition? They care about your salary? You worry about yours, right? It ain't no different. It ain't no different. We just rolled in a team concept. So look, Bill, and I can run off about 4 or 5 more with Bill that are very vulgar, but I'll give you one more. I used to get fined for this all the time. Never thought it was a big deal. Bill would walk past me and give me the whole spiel. Hey, so this, what you got going on today? None, coach, we're going to get ready. All right, we're going to get ready to play this, another. He'd come and grab his pen and hit my thigh pads. He'd say, no thigh pad today, huh? That's $500. For not wearing thigh pads and knee pads and your hip pads in practice. Why would he fine me $500 for that? Why y'all think? Huh? They don't care about getting hurt, ain't it? You don't care about that. Getting hurt is part of the game. I tore my Achilles, had 3 knee surgeries, and broke my neck. That's part of the game. It's another thing. The Patriots say it all the time. But it was taught for me way back in Cleveland, way back before it became a Patriot. What Bill was a stickler for was attention to details. Attention to details. Every element of your performance is based on the attention to details that you bring with the way you go about your business. So if you're a pads and that's the guy that says supposed to have it like that, how you supposed to look and look like that. Radio starts according within the confines of the team, because nothing, as we have seen in previous years, nothing is bigger than what? The team. Okay, attitudes, all those things like that do not persist in team concepts. And he was a master at generating those things. The lessons were harsh. Harsh. Benny Testaverde was our backup quarterback. The next week, he cut Bernie Kosar. Benny was starting, and it was a riot in Cleveland. All right? You can't be better than the team. And he's always had that presence. That's why he has, 10 Super Bowls? Okay? And, those were the people that I've been very fortunate to kind of learn things from and still teach to guys like Wyatt back there right now. And anybody that comes over to our gyms and work out and trains, and trust me, our offensive linemen at FAMU, they've been offered. They've been offered. I don't want to be the O-line coach at FAMU. That ain't my intent. If I wanted that job, I'd have had it 15 years ago. Okay, that's not my intent to be a full-time coaching recruit. I like to educate kids, educate young men on the business and the operation and the mentality that it takes to become a professional. So I'll always be here for that until I retire and go to the Caribbean somewhere. Okay. All right, and that is happening too. So you know, I've been doing this, I'm going somewhere else. So yes, I'll always be here to do that as long as I can. So give me a holler. Hey, Vaughn know where I am. I'm right around the block. I ain't far away. Just because I play in the league don't mean that y'all can't get in contact with me. I'm right here. I'm right here. And I'll always will be energetic. Be energetic about this program and these routers. So thank you. Thank you, Vaughn, for
Any questions?
Thank you.
Any questions for Wally? We got time for about 3 to 4 questions for Wally before we let him get out of here. Man, he has something special he brought.
Man, I ain't got no questions. Give me at least one.
Okay, you didn't go to Fairview, you went to NIMS.
Yes.
All of your road boys were Fairviewers. The little Smith boy,
Marquis.
Smith, whatever happened to him?
Well,
You have contact because they live right now.
well, Marquis is actually my brother's boys.
Oh,
He was a little bit younger than me. Marquis works in engineering. He graduated from FAMU. He works in engineering and lives up in Atlanta. Yeah.
okay, there was a couple of other kids. I can't think of the names right now. But they were all out there with you in that neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of those kids.
Yeah, I had guys, I don't know if y'all know these people. Y'all should know their daddies at least, or they mamas or something that's like that. Right, something like that. In my neighborhood, police officer, Eugene Jeffrey. Mr. Jeffrey was an officer for a long time. Me and his son grew up together. Thomas Curry, his dad worked at Sears for a long time. He's a big booster around here. Y'all know Mr. Curry? Right across the street from Mr. Curry. Cedric Maxwell, okay? Sid went to FAMU High. Matter of fact, Sid was my biggest neighborhood rival. Because Sid loved them damn Pittsburgh Steelers, and I hated it. I hated the Steelers in the 70s. They beat the Cowboys. I used to be so pissed off. So, yeah, those are my neighborhood friends, man. We still in contact today. And my guy, Alan Wilson, Deputy Wilson, those are my boys that are still in contact today, man. Love my boys.
I know you forgot to give a shout out to Fountain Chapel AME Church. That's where I know you from.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you, Fountain Chapel AME Church. Any of y'all familiar with Fountain Chapel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went through every phase at Fountain Chapel. Every phrase. I did my Easter speeches, my Christmas speeches. Okay, we was fighting to see who was gonna play Jesus in the doggone, in the school stuff. I mean, the Bible school stuff. I mean, I actually was Sunday school programs. Junior secretary, junior superintendent, stuff like that. And I was able to maintain that job until I got to FAMU. Because when I got to FAMU, that's when I realized how many alumni was at Fountain Chapel. Okay, and every Sunday when I came in church and we played a game on that Saturday night, I wasn't even getting inside because the men in the church had grabbed, like surrounded me and was like, so what happened on that play right there where Riley was doing this and stuff? No, we need to know about this kind of thing, Wally, because you know, we this stuff right here, we paying money on this kind of stuff. You know, so my Sundays were canceled out of this. Yes, being at home. That's why I say I love being at home. It's always good, always fun. Always fun.
Okay. Right here, and then we'll come to you next. We got here, and then we come into you.
Hi, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I live in Cleveland.
Oh, Lord.
I left FAMU for Cleveland.
You left in
I watch you play a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, my husband is an advocate Browns fan, and he hates the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, we share that mutually. Yes.
I'm also friends with Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie used to make me take his recruits to lunch. Cause he wanted to work on his hands, and we used to fight because I wasn't taking them. They were going to lunch with Ozzie, not me.
Yeah, let me tell you about your boy Ozzie right quick. Let me tell you about your boy. See, this is how my stories come. I gotta remember. So y'all know Ozzie Newsome. Y'all know who he is, stuff like that. All right. Do you understand that a lot of cats in the NFL, they didn't like them Rattlers? Okay. It really wasn't no love. And I'm talking about some of the older gentlemen, you know, because a lot of the older guys, they had to go to those black colleges and stuff like that. They weren't allowed to go to the white colleges. So I had to deal with some of the recourse of Jake garbage. Now, y'all know that Jake was running up a score on dudes around here. Okay. And I would come in sometimes and like, you know, it'd be like these looks like this, like, what you gonna do, Dave Rattler? I'm like, bro, you went to Morgan State. I can't help if Jake put them butt whippers on y'all like that. You know, you still mad about that? Like, man, I'm just here trying to live and do my thing. So Ozzie Newsome. See, here's where education gets you in trouble. Here's where, see, when you come to FAMU and then, you know, education, education, this is where it gets you in trouble. And when people run their mouth, you got to put them in check at times. So Ozzie was giving me all kinds. He was giving me more trash than Belichick for some reason. Like, bro, I don't even know you. And you ain't on my checks. Like, why is this dude all up in my face? So he said something to me one day, and I looked at him, I said, Ozzie, I know that you weren't good enough to go to FAMU. That's why you went over with them white boys in Alabama. Don't come up here talking trash to me, brother. That's when he left me alone. I know. All right, back in your time, y'all was trying to go to FAMU. That was the epitome, Tennessee State, Grambling, and stuff like that. Couldn't make it, bro. So slow down your roll. You did good at Alabama. Good for you.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Remember Jamie Brown when you were playing, when you were at FAM?
Yes, sir.
It's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you talk a little about him?
Jamie, 6'8". When he came in, it was about 290. Jamie, oh man. Jamie looked like a pro offensive lineman right off the bus. The thing was, he had to learn. And he had to develop and become stronger. Okay, he wasn't that strong, but he had great length. And really for somebody his size, he could move. He was athletic. And you know, that propelled Jamie into becoming a professional athlete. But I see, you gotta understand, I called Jamie, I was a senior. He was a freshman, okay? And because of that, you know, we would get on him sometimes. And he developed a nasty name with us. We used to call Jamie the Gate, okay? Big Gate, open up the door, all right? Let somebody in. Like, Gate, you can't do that, man. You guys have to stand there and hold your blocks, all right? And actually, like, block this dude, okay? This ain't just like open it up like this. So when he finally got that, though, Jamie was pretty good. Jamie was pretty good. I wish he could have played a little bit longer, but he was pretty good.
My second question is, you weighed 300 and some pounds when you were playing line.
Yes, sir.
How did you get your weight down? You look well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta, do you mind if I'm honest when I say this? Okay. I was 300 and something pounds until probably when, Wyatt? 3 years ago? 3 years ago? All right. So, again, it goes back to my father. Okay, it goes back to my dad. I don't have to look far. When I moved back here in 2019 to take care of my parents, and my dad was suffering from high blood pressure, prostate, okay, you name it, all the black folk stuff, you know, hanging out at Mom Mary's. Y'all know what that is. That's when y'all start laughing. I bet none of y'all eating that food no more. Yeah, slow that down. And so, you know, it's a very humbling situation because me and my dad share the same names. And to see that on a casket, it does something to you. I don't know what, but I know it scared the living daylights out of me. And when COVID came around, I just had to make a decision about what I want to do with myself. So I actually went and got a medical report, a full medical examination through the NFL. And they gave me a general synopsis of where I was. And I was 315 pounds. My blood pressure was 204 over 115. And the nurse said, if you don't sit your behind down right now, with your blood pressure, you're gonna have a stroke right now. And from that point on, I just decided to change some of my eating habits, because I work out all the time, tell you the truth. It's the eating, it's what you put into your bodies, okay? You can train 4 or 5 hours a day, but if you go home and eat food that's not conclusive to your body's development, it will become a stagnant process and you won't have any growth. So I changed my eating habits, and at my smallest, I got down to about 235. Right now I'm at 255, and the reason why I even got back up to this weight because my mom thought I was dying. And she would not let it go. She would just say, you look sick. I'm not used to you being this size. I don't know what's going on, but you are hiding stuff from me and I don't like it. No, Mom, I'm just trying to eat healthy. It's no big deal. But she won't let it go. So I said, okay. So now she said I look pretty decent now. I look kind of myself. So yes, it's all about staying healthy, all about training the right way, eating the right food. So again, I'm a component of all those things. I want to hang out. I got, a couple of granddaughters and stuff like that. I got 5 kids. So, I ain't out here by myself. gotta be healthy for my peoples. Yes. That's it with everybody. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you.
All right, Snake. Wally brought something with him. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he's like me. I don't like to go anywhere empty-handed. He got some Ravens in the jersey, and I got Sharpie right here. He didn't know about that part, but while supplies last, once we're done, go by and say hey to Wally, take a picture with him, post it up. Thank everybody for coming out. Look for don't forget FAMU Day at the Capitol. We will send everyone an email. How many people attend FAMU Day at the Capitol?
This is the first time that they've scheduled it over Wednesday. It has always been on Tuesday.
Right. So if you all would, look to your email by tomorrow as we make a decision on whether we will be here, because if everybody's going today at the Capitol, it's no use in us forcing the issue. So, yes.
We're looking at
From 10 to 11.
Oh, okay, so the program is from 10 to 11:30. So as a committee, we'll talk about it and we'll come with a solution for next week. Yeah, we certainly will.
With
So
the Orange and Green game on next Saturday, is the coach coming next week?
we're planning for Coach to come next week, so we'll see if he'll come from day at the Capitol and come here. That's one of the reasons we were considering, but I didn't know it ended that early. So as I say, look to your emails from Dr. Jackson and from our constant contact. And we'll come up with a solution for next week. How did y'all let my wife sneak in here? Lisa, come here for a minute.
What I did, no.
Yeah, come here, Lisa. We want to congratulate Lisa on her birthday today. Lisa has served us well. She makes sure y'all have good portions. She know what everybody eat by now. So let's sing a happy birthday on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Uh-oh. You don't get no change back. You don't get no change back. What you give, you gave. Uh-oh, they coming. Here they come.
No, already.
All right, all right, all right. All right. All right, once again, check your emails this evening and tomorrow as we'll make a final decision. You know, we don't want to, no reason to split up, but if we support both, we will do both, and that's what we want to determine. So once again, thank you all for joining us. We will, don't forget the Orange and Green game next week, along with the concert following with Cupid Shuffle and Flex and all of that good stuff, Marching 100. It's going to be a great Saturday, April 12th, Ken Riley Field, Bragg Memorial Stadium at 4 p.m. Yes, please check out that baseball team. I went to see them play Troy, and they really, really are. Coach Shoup has a squad that I'm looking for big things from. So, and the softball is doing great. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us.